Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and today I've got a very special video on Forza Horizon 4 which I haven't done in a while. Now before I begin, in the game there is a plethora of things to do involving cars and racing, but there are also many subtle and less noticeable things that can really make you appreciate the game a lot more. Now I'm not saying that everything on this list will be unknown to you, but hopefully there might be a couple that you may not know of. But most of all, I hope you find this video entertaining as I present to you 8 new hidden secrets, Easter eggs and glitches you didn't know in Forza Horizon 4. Just a cheap plug before we begin: if anyone wants to follow me on Instagram, my account is @Ericship111. I would love to see some new on there and also get an inside look of my life outside of YouTube. Starting off with number 1, the brake ducts are active. Now we all know that the car models in Forza Horizon 4 go into extreme detail, whether it's special patterns to shape an LED tail light, to the finer stitches of the car's steering wheel. Whatever it may be, Forza has got us covered, including active brake ducts. Yes, that's right. Now, an example is the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, where if you didn't know, in reality, when you begin to drive it, these front flaps that are in front of the bumper are closed for air to disperse smoothly from the very bottom. However, as you drive faster and begin to brake, causing the disc to reach higher temperatures, the ducts will open, allowing extra air to channel through to cool the brakes down to a certain temperature, and then the flaps will close again. Now in Forza Horizon 4, it's very difficult to notice them actively working as the camera angles don't allow us to visibly see them work. However, if you can watch a replay of a race or go into photo mode, you can see when the flaps are open and closed, and it's quite amazing to see that extra detail that we don't get to truly appreciate until we either see or know about it. Number 2, taking the roof off more vehicles. Since the introduction of the McLaren 650S, we were all very excited about open-top cars. Going into Forza Vista mode and having the option to decide, do we want the roof open or closed, was very nice, even though when you drove it out, we still only had one option that they gave us, as it wasn't dynamic. However, there are a few more cars in Forza Horizon 4 which you can take the roof off that you didn't know about. Well, at least in Forza Vista mode, and that is the 2019 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 and the Porsche 918 Spider, just to name a few. Want to see how they look without a roof? Simply choose that car, go into Forza Vista mode, and just like removing the roof on the McLaren 650S Spider, there will be an icon here indicating that the roof can be taken off, and there you go, you've now got yourself an open top vehicle. It's just too bad when you drive it out, it reverts back to being a hardtop again. Number 3. Wait, you've left your e-brake on. Okay, here's a small one. Now, whenever you leave the Horizon Festival, what's the most common way to do it? By constantly pressing the B button until we actually get out of there. However, there are, of course, other ways of leaving the festival site or house, but in a much time-consuming and unconventional way, and one of them is by getting into the Forza Vista mode, opening the door, enter the driver's seat like you're about to drive it away, and then you actually drive it away. But when you do that, there is a small animation of the car leaving the place. But the funny thing is that the wheels barely even move while you're leaving. I'm sure that will not be good if you have simulation tires on. Number 4, the Audi barn find. Like many of the barn finds in the game, Playground Games love to give out small references every now and then, including the 22B, which included the famous livery of the winning years during the World Rally Championships, the Ford GT40, which made direct reference to the crashed test car back in the 60s, but with the Audi it's a bit more subtle, because for many like myself are probably wondering why is it specifically placed that way with the siren on top and bullet holes all around the car, and after a bit of digging, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to figure out, Playground Games were actually referencing to a British television show called The Ashes to Ashes. although the model of the car in reality compared to the barn find is a little bit different. But honestly, who cares? When you look at the picture and then you compare it to the barn find, they look practically identical in terms of how the car has been parked up. So it's always great to see some Easter eggs in the game, and it makes me appreciate the game that much more. Number 5, Luggage Set. Alright, so we are back on Forza Vista mode again, and this time we are looking at the 2018 Aston Martin Vantage. Beautiful car, so let's appreciate it a little bit more by exploring what the car has to offer. The engine looks beautiful, the interior looks nice, and now let's take a look at the boot. Wait, what's all this? An entire luggage set? And no, these weren't put there as an evil prank by Playground Games. It's actually an option for the 2019 Vantage. Apparently, according to the Aston Martin website, each piece is handmade by highly skilled craftsmen whose skills have passed on from generation to generation. Yeah, I'm astounded, but I think it's pretty cool that Playground Games have added them in. I only wonder what's actually inside of them. Have they made my Vantage a lot heavier? Number 6, Hoonicorn's cam is a little bit different. So when you look at the gameplay cameras that is available, for most, if you are in third person, the field of view distance is all very consistent. Of course, I'm speaking about console gamers, as on the PC, you do have the luxury of changing how wide or narrow you want your field of view to be. But as I was saying, unless if it's a truck or an SUV, the third person cam is consistent across most vehicles. And that goes with the bonnet cam too. Not taking too much of the screen, as it's actually quite narrow, talking about field of view of course. However, with the Hoonicorn, the bonnet cam is slightly different. It's actually located right at the back near the wipers with a very wide field of view, almost like a GoPro in a sense. Now you might be asking why? Well, it's to show off all the fancy bits and bobs of the Hoonicorn with the exhaust and exposed turbo, and if you compare it to another car with a similar size bonnet, such as a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, you can see just how different both these camera angles are. Number 7, we don't model the cars. You all might think that Playground Games and Turn 10 model every single car that gets featured into their game. But the reality is, it's near impossible to model that many cars that quickly with such a small team at work. So what both Playground Games and Turn 10 do is that they reach out to other 3D modeling companies to outsource many car models. That way more people are working on new cars, meaning more cars will be featured into their future game. One company that Forza has worked very closely with is known as Glass Egg, a Vietnamese company that has actually worked with Forza from the very beginning back to the original motorsport. Not only that, Glass Egg has also worked on many other racing titles as well, such as Need for Speed, Dirt, and even Drive Club. Which begs the question, and I'm purely talking about Drive Club here, as the car models in that game are also extremely detailed. I know the game engine and graphics software is different from each other, but since they have worked on both games, and Drive Club does have some amazing cars that I would like to see in Horizon 4, is there any chance for those cars to cross over? And number 8, the RTR Mustang gets dirty. Alright, so we've chosen the RTR Mustang. I believe it's the Spec 5, as this glitch only works with this particular car. So all you have to do is just begin driving on the snow. Just try to get your car a little bit dirty. And as we fill up, I'm going to go on to this part here. And then you can begin to see that this car, the side, the roof, the bonnet, everything is becoming very, very dirty, except for the back bumper and the back boot and spoiler, which is very odd. Nice bug there, Playground Games. Look, my car's basically turned white now, from a maroon color to pure white. There we go. The front bumper is nowhere near as dirty as the roof, the doors, the quarter panel. I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest, but yeah, this doesn't only just work on snow. It also works on the beach as well. So right now, this car is slightly glitched, but it doesn't affect the performance of the car at all. Now, I wonder if I can wash all this off by driving into the... There we go. Ah, so you can. Ah, okay, I see. But it's just going to get very dirty again once I begin driving on the snow. So, there we have it, guys. 8 new hidden secrets, Easter eggs, and glitches that you didn't know in Forza Horizon 4. Let me know down in the comment section below how many of these you guys actually knew or didn't know. I would love to find out. Also, I have done 3 of these in the past, so I'll put a link to those 3 videos down in the description below if you guys want to check it out. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. And also, if you would like to see more Forza Horizon 4 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.